So today we're going to talk about how to get started being more creative. So some of you might have watched our previous video, which was on why creativity is beneficial to your day-to-day life. And you're maybe looking for some tips and tricks on like, okay, I'm interested in becoming more creative. Where do I start? Like, how do I approach this topic of creativity? So we're going to give you a couple tips and tricks on like what things you might want to look for and what things you should do when you're first starting out trying to be creative. Okay, so this first tip is going to be try as many creative things as you possibly can. Try a bunch of different things that you have no idea if you'd like it or not. If you think you just like photography, try making some music too. Try graphic design. There's so many different creative things out there that people can take advantage of, and really, if you don't know if you'd like it or not, then give it a shot. Like, you might be surprised that, hey, I like writing a bit more than I thought I would, and I don't like photography as much as I thought I would, and then you become a writer instead of a photographer. When you're first starting out, I think it's important to not limit yourself on the creative things that you do. Take, a couple weeks, and then each week try something else, or maybe each day try something else. Try painting one day, try making music one day, try writing one day, try photography, all of these different types of creative activities. I would say give maybe an hour or two to each of them and just kind of see what things stand out to you. Like, oh, I like this about writing, but I don't like this. Well, maybe there's a niche in writing that like really hammers home the thing that you do like and kind of gets rid of the thing you don't. Or vice versa, oh, I really did love photography and I didn't like writing. Well, now you know in the future, if you have an option to do like a journalism gig, you're not gonna like the writing half, but you'll love the photography half. Those kinds of experiences will really help you figure out like the creative niches that you'll fit into well, and really like what aspects and what areas you want to dive deeper into. Okay, so I'm sure a lot of you are like, yeah, that sounds great, but I don't have the equipment for this, or I don't know like where to get started. Most of you have a smartphone in your pocket. That will do the majority of creative things that you want to do for free if you already have one. You can download graphic design apps, you can download music making apps, you can download photography apps, editing apps, video apps, like literally almost anything. You can write on it, you can paint on it, you can do all sorts of things just from your smartphone or from like a laptop or a desktop. Like, you really don't need a whole lot to get started. Obviously, if you're like, hey, I think I want to learn the guitar, that's a different thing. But even then, I would say go to Goodwill, go to eBay, thrift stores, pawn shops, Craigslist, like those kinds of things, and spend as little money as you possibly can. Because especially when you're first starting out, you don't know how long this is gonna last. Maybe you like it for 6 months and then you realize, hey, I don't like doing this anymore, I wanna switch what I'm doing. You don't want to invest hundreds or thousands of dollars into something that you aren't like committing to long term. And I see so many people, myself included, who invest a lot of money into equipment and then it just ends up sitting around collecting dust. So I highly recommend, use your phone, take advantage of as many free things as you possibly can, because when you're first starting out, your entire goal is just doing it. Like, literally just doing the creative activity is what you want to be doing. So it doesn't matter how perfect it is, just start by doing, and then, when you're 6 months in or a year in and you really like doing this, then upgrade your stuff, If it's Christmas, if it's your birthday, like, yeah, maybe ask for presents for it, but again, I would spend as little money as possible because you have so much access to things around you that can really help you out and can get you a lot of these things for free. Okay, so the next step, you've downloaded Lightroom Mobile on your phone and you're like, hey, I want to be a photographer. I took a couple photos, I tried to edit them. I'm completely at a loss for how do I get better at this. There is one crucial trick and you're using it right now, and I would say YouTube it. YouTube, Google. Those are going to be your two best friends. Take whatever it is that you're doing and try and be as specific as possible. If you have an artist that you look up to, like, hey, I really like Nirvana, I want to learn how to play, guitar like that style, search on YouTube for it. If you're like, hey, I really like Peter McKinnon and I want to take photos and edit photos exactly like him, like, there's all sorts of resources on the internet for you to learn how to do that well. One thing I would recommend is look in the comments of whatever video you're watching to make sure that it's like actually a beneficial video. A lot of creators, if they watch a video and go, oh, hey, this isn't good content, they'll maybe type something in the comments. So I would just keep an eye out for that. But Like seriously, the library even is a great resource. As many free things as you can. I wouldn't spend money on this. I wouldn't go buy a masterclass. I wouldn't do any of that stuff. Like YouTube, Google, and get books from the library, listen to podcasts. Like all of those are phenomenal resources, and you'll get so good so quick by just utilizing those. You'll be really surprised at how quickly you're able to grow into your art or your craft if you spend, you know, a couple hours a week researching things on YouTube and looking things up on Google, and then taking, you know, another couple hours a week and actually doing those things and utilizing the tools that you learned from tutorials and things like that. Now, if there's one thing that I want you to take away from this video, it's going to be this next section, because I think that this is the most fundamental part of creating anything ever. And this goes for everyone. If you've been creating for years or decades, or if you have literally never created a single thing in your life, this one thing will change everything. And that is, don't be afraid to fail. And I know that's like a really big idea. Like it's really difficult to do. And I think a lot of you might go, oh, well, that seems like super easy. Like I can just like be okay with failing. Creativity really pushes the boundaries of what you're comfortable with, and it really dives deep into how vulnerable can you be with it. And so when you allow yourself to fail creatively, consistently, without judging yourself for being bad at something or comparing yourself to other people that you look up to, if you can really truly embrace the idea of, hey, every single day, whenever I do this creative task, I know for a fact that I'm going to fail, and that is a good thing, that you're learning from your failures, that you're growing as an artist because you fail, that will take you from, you know, the starting point to like mastery way quicker than anything else ever will. If you sit down for an hour every day and say, hey, I am expecting myself to fail the whole hour, and you're okay with that, you truly deeply are okay with that, and you take every failure that you have and learn from it, you're going to be insanely good at whatever it is you're doing really quickly. And the reason I say that is because it's so difficult for anybody to be good at this. It's just something that we're not good at as humans. Really try to learn and understand that failure is a good thing. And that's part of the reason why creativity is like such an interesting, challenging thing for a lot of people, is because true creativity requires you to be really vulnerable, and it requires you to understand that failure is actually something that's like a positive in your life. And a lot of people have a hard time with that. So if that's you, like, also don't worry about it, because you failing at failing is still a good thing. You know, take every positive you can from every creative experience that you have, and then keep going with it. You know, keep sitting down. Say, hey, you know, 3 days a week, I'm gonna spend 30 minutes or an hour on taking photos or whatever it is that you love doing. And just keep going. It's gonna be good. Like anything that you do in the creative field will help you get better. That's the beauty of it. Okay, if you found this video helpful, we would love it if you could click that like button, subscribe to our channel, click that bell icon so that you can get notified when we post new videos. We are just trying to help people be more creative. So we're gonna be consistently putting out content that helps you be more creative, because that's just what we love doing. And you know, drop a comment if there's something that you did when you first started out creating that really helped you get to that next level. Or if you're a brand new creator, drop a comment with something that you're struggling with right now, because we'd love to create content that, you know, can address that and help you become a better creator and overcome a lot of those roadblocks. All right, hopefully we see you guys next time. Have a great day.